Hello and welcome back to another episode of Unmasking Mum, the podcast with your host, Bonasera. If we haven't met before, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're coming back from last week when my whole episode was about not being okay, I just want to let you know that I'm feeling so much better this week. And I actually had recorded that. I record like a week in advance. So by the time I'm recording this now, which was last week for you listening, I was feeling so much better. I still am a little bit, but I am feeling so much better. And today I thought I'd come back and do about how I kind of got to this place and what I've done to help me come out of burnout. Because I think it's really useful to hear from a personal thing. And I'm not going to be like reading off like 5 tips of how I got out of burnout. It's just going to be a conversation, me and you together, and kind of thinking about what I've done to help myself. I can't remember what I said last week on the podcast, but there were lots of things that I was doing, and it wasn't necessarily helping me come out of burnout in that moment, but it was definitely helping me stay afloat, let's say. So probably the biggest thing that I have changed in my life in the past couple of months is I've kind of gone back to being a bit more spiritual. Not necessarily like full woo-woo, like not like the full shebang, I'm not a witch or whatever. But 4 years ago when my dad died, I just kind of dropped everything. I always used to be one of those people who like believed in signs, believed in, everything happens for a reason, believed, in all those kind of things. I was very kind of spiritual and very leaned into that kind of side. And when my dad died, it was such a shock. He was only 55. I'd seen him in the morning. He had a stroke in the afternoon. And then by the next morning, he had passed away. So that just like changed who I am, who I was. And I only feel like right now, am I actually starting to come back to who I am and find myself that ways. So in the past couple of months, I've really been tapping back into kind of like manifesting, spirituality, and gratitude. And that's a big one that I was kind of doing to help me come out of burnout, is really when I'm feeling down is to tap into my gratitude. Now, not in a toxic positivity type of way, because I definitely a couple of years ago was in those ways of being far too positive to the point where it was probably damaging my mental health. And then I feel like I went the opposite way and dropped it all. And now I feel like I'm trying to find a happy medium with positivity versus toxic positivity and being truthful about how you actually feel. So I was just trying to be just grateful for the small things, like that I physically was healthy, that I had hands and fingers and what I could do, and the food that was in the fridge, the electricity running through the walls, having Netflix to binge, things like that. So things that I had that I could just show gratitude for, just be thankful for in a little ways. And I'm in a really great community for that, called Book Club Bitches by Francesca Amber. I absolutely love it. I think it's like an ADHD's cheat code to reading books, because Fran reads books on podcast that go onto my Apple, which just comes straight directly to my phone. And I just listen to her read them. And it literally means I'm going to read 12 books this year. It's brilliant. I love it. I've only been a member a couple of months, but this month in January, we're doing The Magic, which is all about gratitude. So that's definitely helped. And I do wonder, like she was saying, that sometimes when you do it, you have like something dramatically bad happens for you to then feel better. So I do wonder if it's been part of it. Like it's almost like that release for me. The build up of everything that I talked about in the last episode, I think is what has impacted me feeling this kind of going into this burnout, having these emotions, and kind of just not being able to mask anymore and not being able to put on that fake smile and pretend I'm okay, because I just can't anymore. So gratitude has been a really big one, and having that community behind me and that kind of like challenge, even though I've not done the challenge fully, I just have listened to the podcast. It's been a little podcast every single day. I haven't necessarily done all the tasks, and I'm just giving myself that grace of just doing as much as I can. And that probably brings me into the next thing that I do a lot, which is the bare minimum effect. I've talked about this before on the podcast, so I won't go in it in great detail. So go back and listen to the one that it is in. I can't remember what it is. But the bare minimum effect is basically like instead of doing nothing, what can I do that's the bare minimum that's going to help me? Like, for example, dog walk. I always use this one. I should really think of some different examples, but this is the one that I find I use a lot. I need to walk the dogs. The dogs need exercise. It'd be also good for me to get out. So instead of thinking, oh, I've got to go for a walk, 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 I actually instead just go, okay, what is the bare minimum that I could do? Instead of forcing myself to do like a full loop of a walk like near us, I drive to a place where I know that is a small place. I can just do a really, really short loop. But if I am there, I can throw sticks and the dogs can have a really good run around for a short period of time, or for maybe not even a short period of time, because once I'm out, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm good. I can do this. But it means I don't have to think about like a bigger pathway. I can walk slowly around. So I'm getting that fresh air, but not necessarily doing too much exercise when I haven't got the energy to do it. So I'm still getting out, still getting some fresh air. The dogs are still getting a really good run around, and that is the bare minimum effect. So that is something that I have really done during this period of burnout, is really lowering my expectations. And another example, it could be like with the kids. Obviously, I still have to function as a mum. I've got 5 children. They can't. But a lot of them, I have to do a lot of extra things for them because they have high needs and are autistic and learning disabled. And I am their safe space. So I take a lot of the emotions from them as well. So it's something that I can't just shut off and forget about. So like playing with my children, what can I do that's like low, not taking as much energy out for me? What can we do together? Like maybe some co-regulating activities. We love having a kitchen disco. Okay. Music is really great for me. I might not be able to go all out on a kitchen disco. Like I might not be able to have all the moves that I normally do have, but I can do a little like, you know, a little click my fingers, little clap clap, little shimmy shimmy. I could, whatever moves I could bust out, like bare minimum that I could do that still, you know, is engaging with the kids and getting involved in activity. What is the bare minimum that I can give to them without completely draining myself? So that's another one that I really think is a great idea. Now, this is really basic, but just making sure I'm fed and watered, and not like, I think it's really hard. Like I've been on a really long journey with my body, and I have probably for the last 5 years just been okay with whatever size and shape I am. And, you know, it took me a long time to get to that point of confidence. But yeah, I went on a whole journey, did a lot of, that was what I did in a past life, body confidence, body positivity. I even wrote a book about it called Stretched, Mother's Journey to Loving Herself or something like that. It is on Amazon if you want to buy it. It's one of those things I feel like I should go back to and reread and rewrite, but I just don't have the time. I've got other things I'm doing. So eating what I like, comfort food. I'm very okay with not binge eating. Like I don't emotional eat much anymore. I still have periods of time, but I have a really great relationship these days with food and health. So like obviously if you don't, like please be careful. But you know, emotional eating is such a hard one, especially for us ADHDers. And I'm very, very thankful that it's something that I don't suffer with anymore. So I was having like food that I liked and healthy food as well. So like I bought myself like some sushi. I bought myself like a poke bowl one day, and just, it was nutritious, but also something that I really liked. So I was really mindful of like still trying to be nutritious, still trying to have more protein in my diet to kind of give me that extra energy, having fruits and vegetables and stuff, but also then having pasta, spaghetti with cheese, olive oil, absolutely, big bowl of that, the best. But then having vegetables on the side and having fruit for snacks and stuff, but also having my Cadbury sour milk. Yes, I bought two bags of giant buttons, and I did eat them all in the space of 2 days. I think 1.5 one day, half the other, and then probably have some more chocolate. So yes, I have moments like that, but I don't completely get lost in it, if you see what I mean. I also really lowered my expectations in this period of time. And I tried to give myself the slower January that I had planned, or had said I was going to do, when I actually hadn't started off like it. Not taking my own advice. It's a typical thing of me. I think it's a typical ADHD thing, to be fair. So I just lowered my expectations of what work I was going to do, of how much I was going to give. And I just was kinder to myself. I just was like, okay, I'm really struggling and I don't understand why, but it's just, I'm going to get through this. And I just tried to stay, I guess I love the quote that is in Hotel Marigold. I think it's the second one because there's a quote in the first one that I really love as well. It's not originally from Hotel Marigold, but I don't know who it's by. Everything will be all right. And if it isn't all right, everything in the end will be all right. And if it's not all right, it's not the end. Something like that. So I always think I have that kind of attitude in life. And it's really hard when you're in the moment. And I think because it was like a feeling of emptiness, of down, I kind of was just like, surely I'm not going to feel like this forever. I was kind of like, this is just, it's like nothing. It's like not like when I'm in an angry state or like when I'm sad, sometimes I feel like it's going to never end. But because it was like this empty, this nothingness, I kind of was like, surely I'm not going to feel this forever. And I was kind of like, this isn't going to happen forever. I'm not going to feel this empty. I'm going to feel all the emotions again. So I was able to see that there was an end to it. And I know that not everyone will have that. So I understand that. But just trying to be kinder and trying to ask for more help where I could. So like if there were some things I couldn't face doing, asking my husband. I've actually started getting my 13-year-old. I'm paying him more pocket money each week now to empty the dishwasher every night. And I cannot tell you how much relief off my shoulders that feels. He's getting more money and he's getting to stay up later because he's doing it the last thing at night before bed. And in the morning, that means that I have a clear side because all the dirty stuff that was left over from our dinner, because I always put it in after the kids' dinner, and we most days, me and my husband eat after the kids. I then have a clear side to do breakfast, and I have clean dishes and stuff in the cupboards, and that has made such a big difference. So that was another tip from Fran. She started asking her children paying her eldest to do washing, I think. I don't think any of my kids would do that. But we'll see. Maybe we can convince them, depending how much money they're going to ask for. So that was a really good thing that's taken a lot off my plate. And moving my body, that's probably been one of the biggest things, is giving myself time to move my body in a way that I like to move my body. So I invested at the end of summer last year in going to a health club. So they've got like golf. I don't pay for the golf stuff, but they've got like fancy gym classes and a absolutely stunning pool with a hot tub, with a steam room and a sauna. And it's something I have wanted to do for so long and always made excuses. And there was a deal on at the end of August, and I knew I was going to go into September having more days without Mila, so it would give me more time to actually go and do it. And I just miss swimming so much, honestly. I miss swimming so much. And the leisure centre we've got, it's a bit, I don't want to sound like a snob, but when it just gives you the absolute ick. Like, it's just not an enjoyable experience. Like, to exercise, it has to be an enjoyable experience to get me started. So I have not been going to the gym. I did start off going to the gym there, and I was doing quite good doing both. But when I've been in this period of life's been heavy, I have just been going swimming, and I managed to go swimming 2 times last week and then once with the kids. And that has made such a big difference because my brain never shuts up. It never stops talking. And even like it's not clear. There's no clear thought pattern. It's like multiple different thought patterns that I'm trying to think of. But when I'm in the water, my mind, it's not clear. It's not completely empty. It's not that I'm not thinking. It's just quieter, and I can have a clearer thought path. So I'll have a lot of ideas, like a lot of creative ideas for things I want to do when I'm swimming. And I'll be able to actually work my way through the whole like idea or expand upon it. So like when I was thinking, I've thought of book ideas, I've thought of course ideas, I've thought of different things I want to talk about on the podcast. But it's been like almost like a whole idea rather than a little bit here. Then I've got something else I'm thinking about. Then I'm thinking about the lunch boxes. Then I'm thinking about the kids at school. And I'm thinking about this and thinking about that. It's like I get to weave my way through the whole thought when I'm in the pool. And that's been really nice. And I've also been trying to do a lot of not even trying to think of thoughts, but just visualization activities, like feeling the goals I want to achieve, and also affirmations. I have been doing affirmations a lot while swimming and in the sauna because I find the sauna so boring, but it's so good for your like physical health. But my ADHD hyperactive side shows itself so much when I'm in the sauna because I'm just constantly fidgeting, and I look around at everyone else and think, how are they staying so still? And I'm like tapping, I'm like finger moving, worming in my seat, literally. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of affirmations of saying, I am powerful, I am loved, I am kind, I am creative, I am successful, I'm strong, I am powerful, I am fierce. If you've been here forever, you'll know that that's the three, that I am strong, no, I am powerful, I am strong, I am fierce. That's what I use with my kids and have done since before the twins were both speaking, when they were non-speaking. So that's one that I always go back to. If nothing else comes to mind, they're the three always that are there. So that has also helped, having that time to move my body, to swim, and then having the space to have a bit of a clearer mind. I hope that was helpful. I hope that if you are in that place now that I was in, or in a different challenging emotionally space, that some of these have been maybe an idea that you can give yourself. If you are feeling like that, I just want to give you a big hug and tell you that you can come through this, and you don't have to do it alone as well. Please do reach out to people. If it's really bad, there's a crisis hotline. If you can't speak to someone in your personal life, you feel like you can't do it, go into groups that, are specifically for ADHD or mental health and stuff, and post anonymously. Honestly, it makes such a big difference. If you can post under your name, do it. If you have to, post anonymously, because even having strangers on the internet help you in those moments, it really makes a massive big difference. So let me know if you found this helpful. I'd love you to follow, share with a friend, comment. Let me know if this was helpful, beneficial, or what you want to hear from me in the future. And I will see you next time for another episode of Unmasking Mum, the podcast. See you soon.